So hello everyone, and thank you for coming today. Also for those who are joining online. As Maria said before, my name is Maider Santorcuato and I'm from Biogipuzkoa, and together with Luis Crespo from Coalut, we are going to share with you the results that we have obtained during the project. So, well, first of all, for those that you don't know Biogipuzkoa, Biogipuzkoa is a health research institute located in San Sebastián in the north of Spain. So we boost translational health research, and we cover all the research and innovation carried out in the Gipuzkoa territory in the Basque Health Service called Osakidetza. So just a few organizational structure for our entity. It has three main areas or three main pillars. The research groups itself that they carry out research on different areas, the scientific technological platforms, and the support unit. I come from the innovation support unit, as you can see in the slide, and I would like to mention that for us in Biogipuzkoa, the RaDAR-PPI project it has been the first experience in PPI projects. So we have learned a lot in this experience since the beginning of the project. And also, I would like to mention that our participation in the RaDAR project has changed a little bit since the beginning, because in 2022, we started joining as a supporting entity in the consortium, but from October 2024 on, we are joining the buyers group, so we are the last buyers of the consortium. And as I will tell later, we joined the RaDAR's buyers group to purchase the RaDAR digital evaluation platform. So, well, the purpose of our contract, as I said before, we were the last ones. So one of the objectives of this contract was to gather all the solutions that the rest of the RaDAR buyers had. So we purchased a development of a digital tool that we called the RaDAR Evaluation Digital Platform. And the aim was the collection, analysis, and visualization of indicators and data for the evaluation of the purchased solutions by the rest of the buyers in the consortium, and also for the project or the RaDAR project as a whole. So we launched the tender on May 2025, and the awarded company was Coalut. So later we will have the opportunity to speak with Luis Crespo from Coalut, and he will show us the results of this contract. Before showing you the result or the platform, I would like to mention the theory of change that Maria mentioned before in the first presentation of the day. As she was telling, we all have the same objective, or the impact of all the expected impact of all the purchasing results is the same, but in our case, our solution is focused just on one of the activities that were defined in the project. So as you can see in the below part of the slide, our solution responds to the activity called structured data collection, assessment, and visualization. So having this into account, this is what we asked in our tender. So from Biogipuzkoa, we defined it and identified some needs that the consortium had, and we asked for a digital platform that respond to those needs. So, well, this digital platform, the idea or the objective is to gather data from different data sources, of course from the clinical sites, from the RaDAR buyers, but also from other public databases, to have an acquisition model, on the one hand automatical, and on the other hand manual one via data entry with several templates. And then once the platform has this data, to be able to exploit and analyze this data in the 4 areas that Maria mentioned before, for the patient, sample, pathogen, and prescription management. finally, for having an impact assessment or evaluation, as I said before, not only for the RaDAR project, but also for each one of the solution that the rest of the buyers procured. So in terms of our contract with Qualut, it was signed on June 2025, so just one year ago. So we had 1 year, 12-month execution with the collaboration with Qualut. As you can see in the slide, our contract was divided in 2 phases. The first phase was the design and the development of this platform, and a second phase for the deployment and the implementation of the platform. For several reasons that we will present later, these phases had suffered slight variations. So the design and development phase has been longer, until 10 months, and we have just 2 months for the deployment and the implementation of the platform. But well, nowadays the platform is useful for the consortium, and we are uploading the data to the platform and visualizing it there. So before giving the floor to Luis, I would like to mention some of the barriers or difficulties that we have seen during the project. As I said before, we learned a lot during the several phases of the project, but in the development of the platform, we saw this difference in 2 phases of the contract were slightly changed because of the delayed solution implementation also in the other buyers, not only in our case that we were the last ones procuring the solution, but also in the delay of the implementation of the rest of the solutions. Then it was quite difficult to have a common data structure because at the beginning of the project there were common KPIs defined for all the buyers, but as the solutions procured by all the buyers were slightly different, or each one has its different needs, the data structure has been personalized to each one of the cases. So, this has limited the development time because we had to change some of the ideas that we have initially. But as I said before, we have the platform useful now, but I want to mention that we have some features or functionalities of the platform that we defined in the tenders. For example, the implementation of artificial intelligence tools for data analysis that have not been implemented in the platform. But also I would like to mention that the platform is prepared for that, and when we add more and more data, the platform will learn and will have these functionalities that I said. So now I think that, Luis, you are connected online.
Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, first of all, thanks the consortium and thanks Aquas and Biogipuzkoa for giving us the space to explain our solution in the RaDAR project. With me, there are Laura and Claudia, which are members of the team that were involved in the design and development of the digital solution and the platform. For those who don't know us yet, we are Qualut, and we are a digital innovation company specializing in healthcare. And our main area of expertise is the design and development of solutions, especially in hospitals, both public and private. And our main goal is to give digital solutions to real problems that have a great impact or potential impact in healthcare for hospitals, professionals, and mostly patients. Now, our involvement in the RaDAR consortium is the design of a digital platform that is built to centralize, validate, and visualize antimicrobial resistant data across multiple research entities. In this case, the entities that provided data are UNINA, ICO, Hospital de Referencia, and RESA. And well, the main goal is to replace fragmented and manual workflows with a single governance system. Now, it's from structured data ingestion to an interactive analytics and AI-powered report generation. I'm going to share the screen so you can see the platform right now. Now, please confirm me if you are seeing the screen.
Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, what we're going to show you is the core flows of the platform. First of all is the authentication and role-based access, which is governed by a 3-tier role model, which would be superadmin, superviewer, and viewer. Each role maps to a specific entity and defines what data the user can see, upload, or manage. Now, this isn't just a permission layer. It directly shapes what appears on the dashboard and what the AI reporting assistant can generate. Security is enforced at the API level, GWT tokens, 10-minute recovery codes, automatic lockout after 3 failed attempts, and session-limited access. The role boundary is also enforced at the AI layer, and the model cannot retrieve data or describe data outside the user's authorized scope. Now we're going to see the main modules of the platform. Okay. As I was saying, the main dashboard gives a full view of outcomes, results, and KPIs per entity. Follow the hierarchy established of outcome, result, KPI, and selecting any KPI opens an interactive time series chart filterable by month. Now with the thanks Hospital de Referencia, because they are letting show the data they provided to us. If we take this KPI, we can see the chart, which is filtered by month and year. And also these thresholds and reference values are dynamically managed right now from the database, but the platform is prepared for the future. Each entity can configure their own benchmarks, and the system highlights deviations in context, which means it's prepared to fully adapt without redeployments required. All this data that you see here is right now manually ingested through this functionality. As we can see from the administrator role, we can ingest to all the entities, but each one can only ingest data to its own entity. And right now it's a manual process, but as Maida said before, the first goal was to make this process automatically, since there were some delays in the data structure provided from the buyers and the standardization of this data. We made it manual, but it's prepared to be fully interoperable through APIs, RedCap, of any kind of structure in any kind of system, if it's either a pull or push integration through the API of the platform. But right now it's a manual process, and this data ingestion is right now only accepting Excels. And every upload is logged and auto-generated, title, entity, and timestamp. We can see here in this history chart. And as we can see here, full contents of any load are accessible via the detailed view. So we can always check when it's been loaded into the system. And deleting the latest load automatically reverts the dashboard to the previous one. As I said, it's a dynamic dashboard. And this is a complete audit trail of the data lifecycle, aligned with the GDPR requirements, and since we're working in healthcare, with the MDR and IVDR regulation standards. As we were saying, this data ingestion also, to prevent fragmented data, has a 2-layer validation, structural, from schema, row, and column count, and then content, times, formats, allowed values, to control fragmented data and allow standardization of the data ingested in the system. As I said, right now it only has this 2-layer validation, but it can adapt to any kind of validation needed for any entity or future developments or future kind of data. All this process ends in what would be the dynamic report export that is managed right now through the AI chatbot that we implemented. As I said before, and as I might have said, the idea was that this chatbot could help the professionals to correlate all the information that this data showed, and also giving the professionals projections, patterns, deviations. But since the data structure and all this content, it's not been provided to us right now, what it offers is a description and a tracking of all the data ingested. But as I said before, the model we created is prepared through training and through data key points like vital thresholds, points of significativity, and all kinds of key components. It can reach the full goal that was intended at the beginning of the project. But right now, the function is this conversational AI that is a conversational interface embedded in the platform's back office. And right now, the users, as we're going to see right now, it describes what you want to see. Okay, and what we're thinking is the system prompt that right now it's checking. First, it needs to locate the entity. Then when you confirm, and always needs a confirmation, it's cross-checking in all the database the list of KPIs that you can freely select or just copy-paste through the code or the name. The system always doubles check, and right now we're focusing only in one entity, but the system is prepared to generate reports of multiple entities, as we're going to see later. As we see, the final step is to delimit the time period. We adjusted the chatbot so that you can choose a specific time period, or if you want to see the tracking of all the loads, you just can say no period, and the report will generate all the evolution of any data of any KPI. And right now, the first year that the system contemplates is 2025. But as I said, the system is prepared to adjust this filter to previous data, and that could be used for this correlation process and this feedback of more scientific or research quality that any entity or the project requires. I'm going to pick this one. The selection of the date period, you can just put any month you like. The system will automatically pick the first day of the first month and the last day of the last month. And you say confirm. It will generate the report. Yes. There we go. This is an example of the report, and it lists as a summary all the data of that KPI, that specific KPI, and the graphic of all the batches and variables of interest. This description was meant to be of more qualitative kind, but of course, it just now launches a description of the evolution of the data. Of course, we can train the model for giving more detailed descriptions and more specific descriptions. And if any entity in the future needs it, we can even put the addition functionality in this report so that you can add any kind of information before the PDF is generated. And as I said before, this is just one entity, but I have here an example of a multi-entity that you can see. In this case, we chose LRC, as you can see here. First, it takes one entity and then goes to the next. And the explanation for this is because the data structures at the beginning we thought would be the same, but since they are different now, it just separates them. But as I said before, we also plan ahead, and the platform is prepared, if it's in the future, give a comparative chart or a comparative report if any entity of the project needs it. I don't know if you want technical specifications on the AI chatbot, but feel free to ask our team. Since we are delayed for what I've seen when I joined the meeting, I think I'm going to be very brief. But with this set of functionalities, what we did is accomplish the main goals that Mike have explained before, which is the centralization of data provided by the research of the 4 different buyers, and also creating a digital space that can prevent data fragmentation, that can prevent any kind of data non-standardized security protocols, traceability, and the implementation of an AI models, that with the potential of scalability and future integrations with any kind of entity if it's needed.
So after showing you the platform as a result that we have obtained with this contract execution, well, we have just 1 month until we finish the contract with Qualut. So for these last weeks, we have some next steps in mind. We will jointly explore the platform continuity, because we really think that the platform can be used for, can have other uses. We also think that with some small adaptations, this platform will also be used or can be used for other PPI projects. And as Luis said, and as I said before, as we have a really tight time for the deployment of the platform, we just have a few data in the platform. But during these final weeks, when the buyers can upload more data, we will also see more results. And finally, we would like to use also this platform for the follow-up and for the monitoring of the PPI procured solutions in RaDAR, and also the RaDAR project as a whole, and also in the future for other uses. So thank you very much. This was everything from our side. If you have any question, you have our contacts. And also you have now Luis and the Qualut team online, so we are here to answer, and thank you very much.